Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are glad to see you all. It's an honor for us to join International Conference of Education, Teacher Training, and Professional Development University of Muhammadiyah Malang. In this opportunity, let us introduce ourselves. I am Ayoe Prihartini, and here are my partner Fitri and Mr. Edi Susanto. We would like to present our paper entitled Student Study Habit and Academic Achievement of English Education Study Program at one public university in Jambi. Before we begin, we would divide our explanation into some sections. First, I myself will explain to you about the background and research method of the study. And then Fitri Wahyuni will explain about the result and discussion. And the last one, Edi Susanto will explain about the conclusion. Okay, let's start from the background of this study. The first point is learning environment in university is different from school. Actually, learning environment in university is totally different from learning environment in high school. The differences include the class, grade, responsibility, learning style, teacher, and tests. In university, learning activities not only happen face-to-face in the class. Sometimes, the student just get the material and assignment and need extra time to study outside. They get the grades on the test and not in all assigned work. The students are expected to be more independent and take the responsibilities about what they do. They need to schedule their own time. They need to read the material without any reminding from the lecturers, and the lecturers would not bother about how much the student read and understand the assigned material. They may not always check all assignment, but they will assume students can perform the same task in the test. However, some freshmen face difficulty to adapt with learning environment in university as quickly as possible. As the consequences, they might get stressed, poor grade, and even drop out from the school, from the university. And the second one is study habits can be a third predictor after standardized tests and previous grades. Usually, standardized tests and previous grades are used to predict the academic performance, but study habits were found to be used as the predictors. Those students who have good study habits are able to make study decisions and have high achievement motivation. Some people believe that study habit can be the third predictor of academic achievement after standardized tests and previous grade. Good study habit may produce positive academic achievement. So that's why we want to identify the study habit of students and the relationship between study habit and student achievement. And you can see the research question is the first one is what study habit do students of English education study program in Jambi University have most? And the second one, is there any correlation between their study habit and academic achievement? Okay, let's move to the next section, that is research method. In this study, we choose correlation methods since the purpose of this research is to determine the relationship between student study habit and their academic achievement. And this study will be conducted in Jambi University. Population and sample, we use total sample technique and the total sample is 69 students. We choose students on the 6th semester for some reason. Firstly, 6th semester, students have experienced the first year as new students and have dealt with study habits as college students for years. Secondly, they still have some classes to attend in campus, so the 6th semester student of English study program will be accessible and appropriate for this study. And then in conducting the research, we will use questionnaire as the instrument. The questionnaires will be study habit questionnaire from Virginia Garden University. And the element of study habit is the first one, time management, study environment, test taking or preparation skills, note taking skills, reading skill, and also the writing skill. To avoid any misunderstanding and misinterpretation, the questionnaire will be written in Bahasa Indonesia. Okay, I think that's all about my explanation. Now we move to the result and discussion that will be presented by Fitri Wahyuni.
Okay, thank you. In this chance, I will explain about the result and discussion. Based on the table, we can see that the mean from student study habits in time management as a whole was 2.53. From the mean, it can be described that the students sometimes had a good time management. They have a massive schedule for each semester and regularly update it for each week or day. Sometimes They stick to the schedule. They still had time for exercise and socializing with their friends, and also had enough time to rest without disturbing their time to study at least 2 hours for every subject in each week, and finishing their assignment on time. Besides, they generally attended the classes in regular schedule. Next, the mean score of the study environment was 2.53. It means almost respondents sometimes had a good quality of study environment. They had a regular time to study in a particular area with an under control situation, where there was less noise and distraction to make them still focus on their study. They also had a comfortable area when they were studying and everything they need around them. So they did not have to leave the study area to get that. In the other side, their friends rarely left them alone to study. They rarely used the chance to study between classes. In the test taking of preparation skills, the mean scores was 2.32. It shows that respondents sometimes had good test taking of preparation skills. They sometimes studied for each class every day. They started to review the materials at least 3 days before major exam. Some of them had a study group, so they could discuss and solve their problem in understanding the materials and attended extra sessions given by the lecturers to prepare themselves for the they should gather any information about the test, including the types of the question. Most of the respondents could finish the test on time. After taking the test, they would review or analyze if they did not well. So they could solve the problem they get while taking the test. In the next, we can see that the mean score was 2.58. It can be described that most of the students were able to take notes in class, kept up with the lecturers, and understood the concept at a time. They had an efficient system in taking the notes, so they did not have to twist them. Unfortunately, they were regularly reviewing their notes right after the class, even though they knew the important stuff they have to write along the lectures. Sometimes they made notes based on the class materials that they read. They could paraphrase the information from the text into their own words. Next, we can see the average total was 2.19. As a whole, the dominant tendency of this element was some students and learn at the rate of 12 to 15 pages per hour for history type materials. A small amount of the students material for all classes before the lectures. Some of the students could concentrate and understand the material without rereading for more than once. A greater number of students read the headings and chapters outlines first before the text. The students adjust their reading style for different classes. As you can see, the last one, the averages that range from 2.18 to 3. It can be explained that some students are comfortable enough with the command of English grammar, punctuation, and spelling. They have a clear idea about what they had to do for writing assignment. Some of them made an outline about the paper systematically. In generally, they knew how to use the facility like library and internet to research their topic. A few of them started the research in time to complete it without stay up all night before the deadline. More of them were able to communicate effectively in writing. Next, in the table, we can see the scores of coefficient relation and the significant value. The scores of time management, the coefficient relation score of the time management, there is negative symbols. It means if there any relation between the time management and the academic achievement, it will be the negative effect. But as a whole, we can see the only one element that has the double asterisk symbol is the note-taking skill, which the point is 0.323. And the significant value was the 0.009. It can be integrated to the degree among variable in Pearson product moment correlation. That correlation can be categorized medium. The double X symbol shows that correlation is significant at the 0.01 level. The significant value is less than 0.05. So hypothesis null is rejected. We can conclude that there is a correlation between note-taking skill and academic achievement. To get a better academic achievement, the students can revise their habit in note-taking skills. I think that's all for the result and discussion.
Next slide. Okay, thanks for the opportunity. I'd like to explain you about the conclusion of this research. The study habits that students in university do the most is manage the time. Includes all the six the student habits like time management, study environment, test taking or preparation skill, not taking skill, reading skill, and writing skill. And then for the conclusion of this research is, as we know, there is no the correlation between student study habit with academic achievement. And then only not taking skills that show a significant correlation with academic achievement. Well, that's our presentation today. Thanks for your attention. And as I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.